boys and girls, and welcome to the first ever Art with Miss Taub video. I'm pretty nervous about being on camera and creating this video for you, but just like this whole new learning from home thing is new for all of us, I'm going to be trying something new, and that is creating an art video for you guys. The other thing I want you to know is that I miss you. I miss you guys a lot. I'm kind of starting to go a little bit cuckoo bananas here at home. Thankfully, I have art to pass the time. If it wasn't for art, I would be way gone cuckoo bananas by now. Before we get started, I want you to remember two very important things. First one, try your best. That's all we can do. We can only try our best, right? Just like we do in school, I want you to try your best at home too. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that you might have different art materials than I do. Trust me, I have a lot of art materials. I am an art teacher after all. You might not have watercolors at home. That's okay. Use markers, use crayon. You could even use a pen and paper, pen and pencil. Uh-oh, we ran out of paper. What are we gonna do? Use the back of a cereal box. Works just like paper. You can use, I don't know, lined paper. It really doesn't matter what type of paper or materials you have, as long as you're creating. Use what you got, and I'm sure your artwork will be beautiful. I've already asked you to listen to the story Home by Carson Ellis. And the reason I chose that story is because she does a really beautiful job of illustrating or drawing pictures of different types of homes. She has homes on the moon, and she has homes in trees, and she has tall homes and small homes. And really, I just want you to realize that homes come in many different shapes and sizes. And although we might feel stuck at home, we're really just safe. We're safe at home, which is why I've chosen to use homes as our inspiration. I did want to show you something that I did as an extra step. I actually went outside and took this picture of the home that I'm staying in. It's also the home that I grew up in. And we're going to be using shapes to draw our homes. So having this picture of my home really helps me to see some of those shapes. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it is really useful in terms of looking at an image and trying to make it look realistic. Now, let's get started. Here's my workstation. Right here I have my messy mat. A messy mat is just something that you can use underneath of your artwork so you don't get the table messy. I also have my picture for reference and a dry erase board just to kind of show you a few examples of different types of houses. First, I'm going to begin with a long, skinny rectangle. I'm going to do a one-story house for my first example. You're mostly going to be using squares, rectangles, and something called trapezoids. You might also use a few triangles or circles as well. Here's my garage with a rectangular window, a little door, and some long, skinny rectangles for windows with some lines to add some detail. Now, to draw a trapezoid is like a triangle that then has the top chopped off. So I'm going to draw a line at the top just like this and erase the pointy part of my triangle to make a trapezoid-shaped roof. Your roof might be a triangle shape, it might be a trapezoid, and there we have it, a little rancher home. Now remember, we all live in different types of homes, so I'm going to try and draw an apartment building. First, I'm going to start with a really big rectangle, and this apartment building has 2 units, 2 stories, so there is a set of stairs right in the middle and then sliding doors for porches on the 2nd floor or like a little sitting area on the 1st floor. I'm going to do another. Oh, here are my stairs. They're a little wonky. Let me fix those. Now I'm basing this apartment building off of a building that I go to often where my boyfriend lives. So I am kind of picturing it in my brain as I'm drawing it. It's not exact, but it will do. There's another set of stairs over here. These ones are going to be better, I promise. Yeah, that looks a little better. And one more set of apartment units at the top floor with their fence or porch, and the bottom floor with the sliding doors. Here are their little cement seating spots and a trapezoid for the roof. And there you have it. There's the apartment complex where my boyfriend lives. Now, you might live in a trailer. A trailer would be a long, skinny rectangle with a rectangle for the door, maybe some stairs, a couple of cute windows, and my favorite part, a beautiful garden. Might not have a roof, but it could have a little circle for a light. Now, this last house I'm going to do is just for fun. I want you to try and guess what it's going to be. There's a semicircle, a cylinder, a couple of bricks types. You got it. It's an igloo. Now, there's no igloos around here, but the Inuits of northern Canada and Alaska do live in igloos and have cute little snowmen. Now, I've already sketched my house on my dry erase board, and before I draw it in pencil on my paper, I'm actually going to take the bottom, about 3 inches of my paper, and I'm going to roll it up and match the sides and do a little fold. That's because I want to write the word home here, and I'll show you that later, but first I'm going to sketch my house in super speedy fast mode. Notice I'm mostly going to be using rectangles and squares, lots of different sized rectangles and squares, and a couple trapezoids. I'm also erasing a lot because I want it to look as much like my house as possible, complete with porch, stairs, and a garden. Now I'm going to show you what this folded part of the paper was for. I'm actually going to write the word home at the bottom here, but what I want to make sure I do is I need to write really, really lightly, and I also want to space out all the letters as evenly as possible, writing in only capitals. Here's my H. Now notice it's very, very light because I'm going to want to erase it later. Here's an O, an M, and an E. Feel free to write the word casa if you want instead. That's home in Spanish. Now, to create bubble letters, it's a little bit tricky, but I'm going to show you a really easy way to do it. What you're going to do is around your original letters, you're going to draw a line that follows your letter. I like to say that this line is giving your original letters a hug, but they're not touching the original letters. They're just going into every corner and in every direction that your first letters did. I'm going to use a Sharpie just so you can really see how my line goes around my letter, but it doesn't actually touch my letter. All bubble letters are shapes in the shape of a letter. If you have a letter that has a shape inside, like a P or an A or an O, you have to make sure that you do a line around your letter, but also inside that hole or shape in the middle. M's are lots of diagonal lines and almost like a zigzag. But remember, I'm never actually touching my letter, I'm just connecting it from the beginning to the end. E's are some of my favorite bubble letters to do. I just think all the horizontal and vertical lines are so much fun. Time for my favorite part, super speedy fast mode. Tracing all my lines, erasing my pencil, now I'm ready to add some color. You guys can add color however you like. I'm going to use a mixture between Crayola markers and Mr. Sketch markers, and I'm going to add some water to give my marker drawing more of a painted look. I cannot wait to see your beautiful masterpieces. Please don't forget, have an adult send me your artwork through my email or through Class Dojo. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget to sign your name at the bottom so everybody knows that you made this wonderful artwork. Have fun!